Hi guys, welcome back. I am here. Sorry, I was just round there. I'm on my own at the moment. Just doing a quick little video. Right, as you see by the thumbnail, yes, I bit the bullet, got another chuck that I wanted. Now I know I did say a little while from the video back I wanted a Vicmark SK114. I changed my mind on that. Reason being, the jaws that are available for a Vicmark chuck, I've got them all. Record Power do all the same jaws. The shark jaws, these jaws, the step jaws, the gripper jaws, the long jaws, everything they do, Record Power do, and there was just no jaws I wanted. But I did want a chuck that's bigger than the normal 4-inch chuck, because I want that little bit more movement on it. So I chose to go for the SK114. Nothing to do with the I mean the build quality and everything. The chuck is fantastic. Everyone knows they're fantastic chucks, but they're very expensive. Although at the moment, actually I'll tell you about that in a minute. Yeah, very expensive chucks, but they are well made. They're good. It was the jaws that I bought it for, because their jaws are, in the end, actually I must admit I bought 3 of them. I've bought 3 SK114s and I've got an SK100 coming. Now I bought the 114 because I wanted the O'Donnell jaws. Okay, so I got the chuck, I got the O'Donnell jaws, and I got the one that you get the other sets with, so these can go in, so it's 3 sets in one. Okay, bit expensive, 160 quid for the jaws, you know, 260 quid for the chuck. Yeah, not cheap at all, I must say, but very good. I then wanted a set. Their set of jaws, their G jaws, because they are an in between of my basically shark jaws and these 4-inch jaws, and these they're an in between of them. I like to hold my bits of wood square. I don't always want to turn tenons, and I like to put like a 3x3 piece in. These couldn't hold it, they weren't the right sizes. That holds it perfectly. I also got the Colossus jaws, which are these ones, because these can hold up to like basically a 5-inch square of wood, no tenon in, and they grip really well. So I got those. There's something I use work-wise, not for. They're something I use for certain jobs. So I got those, and I got the H jaws for this one, which I really like. They're the gripper jaws. I'd rather a gripper jaw than a dovetail jaw. That's my thing. And I like them because I like to have pieces of wood like this, square. Now, I have my shark jaws, but these bits don't fit because these are 2-inch by 2-inch, and they don't fit in these ones. They don't open enough. But these hold absolutely perfect. I think this, you can see this on camera. And see, with that, the benefit of that, when I do that, is I don't have to worry about a tenon. I can turn everything from that. And that's what I don't want to have to keep turning tenons all the time and putting them in when it's for speed for me, it's for quickness. But the benefits of that with these H jaws, they do actually take my RDG tools step center as well, and I can put all the heads on it, so it just makes that so versatile. I can unscrew these and I could put a big 4-prong one in or whatever. Can do just everything with it. Now, the only thing I will say with the O'Donnell jaws that I didn't actually like is the screws, the mounting screws for the jaw down inside there. They're not countersunk, okay? And if I try to put my step center in here, like I did, it will go in and go down to the bottom, but it's not square, it's got a slight wobble to it because it's on the screw heads. So I wasn't too happy about that. If I pull it out to here and put it in, I can play about with it and it goes level. Yes, it does hold it, but then there's nothing supporting the back of it. When I tighten up, it could always come loose and push back, and then I'd lose a piece. So I like it to be firmly seated back. On here, it lands on the screw heads, not the flat of the chuck, and they are not 100% accurate. And if you put a piece of wood in like this, which we can do, Actually, can you see that? I'm sorry, I'm thinking you can't see that. Right, I am sorry about that. Right, let me go down here. Right, okay. So, like I was saying, when I put this in and I tighten down, it actually sits on the screws. So it's not, and the screws aren't level. It doesn't sit on the bottom of the chuck because the screws aren't countersunk. And if you put a piece of wood in like this, which they say you can do, and you put your 2x2 piece of wood in and you tighten up, and yes, it does tighten up and it does hold it really nice, and that's nice and solid, yeah. But again, because the screws are not countersunk, the actual screws hit the wood, the actual screws pinch into it as well. It's not going to damage the screws, but it's just something I would have rather wasn't happening. But at the end of the day, I'm not really using them for that, so it's not really going to matter. But it would have just been nice if those screws, I know what it is, because when they go down you can't go flat onto the screw, so they wouldn't have been able to drill it to countersink it. But then I thought they would have maybe come up with something to have done it. And I made some little let me bring you back out again, sorry, you're probably not seeing none of that. Bring you back down here, you should see everything. There you go. Probably go around and cut my head off now. Right, okay. So yeah, I just made up some more things for my chucks to go on. I don't go and buy all those screw on for. I can't be screwing on and off. I just like them to go on. Okay. So there, that's the reason I went for these chucks, because of the jaws that are available, and these are pretty much the 4 sets of jaws I want. I've got an SK114 coming because, one, I want to actually put these Colossal jaws on it. I don't need the full expanse of the 114, so these can go on it. But also I have some of the original knuckle breaker jaws, basically is all I can call them. I have the 2 sets, the inner and the outer ones from Axminster, which came with that chuck, which is the Axminster 100, the Clubman one, and that's also got C jaws, which gives me the benefits of using that. So that's that, guys. That's why I went for 114 chucks. But yeah, it's quite funny because 2 of them I bought last. I bought one, got it. Decided I got the O'Donnell jaws, lovely. Bought it. Decided I wanted to get another one, so I bought another one. And then this week Monday, I decided I wanted to get a third because I wanted another set of jaws. So I got a third one. Went on there, bought it. 7:30 in the morning. Literally a couple of hours later, I had an email through one of their ones. They send you these emails to say they're doing a price crash on their chuck. All their chucks are reducing. Knocked 80 quid off the bloody SK114, didn't they? So I phoned them up and said, "Oi, I just bought one of them. I bought 2 last week, which all right, fair enough. You weren't doing that, but I've just bought that." And literally a couple of hours later, you send me an email to say you're dropping your prices. And she said, "Well, it hasn't. I'll check your order. It hasn't been dispatched yet. I can honour that, and we'll knock you the 80 quid off." And that's when I said, "Well, actually, no. Keep the 80 quid. I'll have a set of the G jaws with a set of carriers for it, and I'll pay the extra 25 quid." So it was a good bargain. And then the SK100, £96 they've reduced it by. 96 quid. That's nearly £100 they've dropped off of it. So I bought one of them. So I'm waiting for that to come now. It just makes you wonder a bit though, guys. I mean, I've got nothing, I can't knock Axminster, but I mean, if you can knock £96, you won't be selling them at a loss. You must still be making a profit, and if you can knock 96 quid off, then I think maybe you're charging too much for them in the first place, and maybe that's why you've got to knock the prices down to sell them. I don't know. And there you go. That's a lot of money to be dropping. Right, I'm popping this in. I am, and this is what I love about for these. I'm just going to centre that up, make sure that's centre up. Just use a live centre first to centre that up. Right, let me bring you in a bit on that, actually, because again I'm not doing it with a camera and I'm not showing you where I am. Right, okay, here I am now, guys. You just won't see me so much. Some of you might be happy about that, but there you go. Right, I'm gonna leave you about there, and then you'll see what I'm doing. Bring it out a little bit. There you go. Right, okay. I'm just putting it on to centre that up. That's centred. Now I know it's in centre. I'm going to get that nice tight and down, and that's it. Now I can take that back, so I'm going to drill that. Right, what am I doing today? I've been making loads of these. I'm having a bit of fun today actually. I've been making loads and loads of these up. As I said, they're not snowmen. They are for Halloween. They're having candles in. I've got loads to make. Lisa's painting. I said they was going to be a big hit, and bloody hell they are. I've got loads of these to make. Lisa's doing them. She does, as you saw, the vampire, the pumpkin one, and she's also doing now skull, skeleton one. So yeah, and I think she's going to do like a little bit of a video doing the painting of it. I don't know. She's thinking about doing it. But there you go. So I'm making loads of these. Right, now the thing is, when I was doing the last video, I'm rambling, aren't I? Sorry guys. But loads of you say you miss me talking, so that's your fault now. You got me talking, didn't you? Right. When I was doing the last videos, I kept saying about the bevel, the bevel, the bevel, the bevel. And I've had a lot of questions from people asking me about this, what I was saying about the bevel and stuff like that. It really is, guys, it is the whole thing of wood turning. It is the main thing of it. If you learn to use the bevel and understand the bevel, you will never get a catch, you will never have a problem with making a cut, and your life will be so much easier and your wood turning will be fun. Right, I'm just drilling this. Need to sharpen this drill bit a bit actually. Well, I'm just going just below the edge because then I've got to clean up the front of it. Right, there we go. That's that done. Right, pop that out of the way. Yeah, and basically no matter what tool you're using, it is all about that bevel, literally. Now, I've also got another thing here. I'm going to play back with this one actually, because I was asked as well. A lot of people have been asking me about the 6mm hollower. They find it very aggressive on hollowing stuff and things like that. Now, it's very much sold. Hang on, just let me set my speed on this. Because as you know, I like my speed up. Right, there we are, 2,500 RPM. Right, I'm going to stop it for a minute and bring you out a little bit so you'll be able to sort of see me. Right, okay. A lot of people say about the 6mm hollower, okay, and they find it very aggressive, and they get catches with it and stuff like that. A lot of that is just down to the way you're using it. It really is, and it's not okay. They all buy it, and I don't know why, but a lot of it is sold from other people that sell the tools with the 6mm hollower. They sell it as a end grain hollower, end grain work, and really it's not. It's crap for end grain. I say it's crap for. It can work. It works good to a certain point, but if you're doing deep pots or things like that, then it's not the best for it because you can't get on the bevel. You can't use it right, and you will find it grabby and you'll find it chatter. A lot of it would be the tools like, you know, this, I'm not mentioning manufacture, but these ones where you have the shaft and you have the little bits that go in like this, with the 6mm cutter, and they find it a screech and it a chatter when they're doing inside hollowing, and if they're using it on bowls they find it very aggressive. It catches, or it leaves grooves, ridges. You find it hard to get a clean finish with it, and it is down to one thing, guys. The bevel. Every single tool there is, anything, it comes down to the bevel, and that's why I keep saying to people, the bevel, the bevel, the bevel. You must always be on the bevel. But what I'm going to do, as I said, the hollower, to me, I don't use it on end grain. I always find a standard carbide better on end grain. And I'm going to turn one of those snowmen, well not snowmen, one of those tea light vampire things. I'm going to do everything with a 6mm hollower, just to show you what it can do. Okay, now my ones, I don't do them with that bit inside no more. I didn't find it it makes it expensive tool because there's a lot of work involved in doing it, making up the heads and everything like that. It's actually a lot better for me just to put them straight on a 12mm bar like this, and I find that does everything. It doesn't need that thicker bar. If it was wanted, I can always put one on a 16mm bar. That's not a problem. Which again would be better than that side, but it's a lot. It's cheaper to make them, so I can do 2 of these. I can do a 6mm and 8mm full size chisel with the handle, for less price than what I was having to do those for. So that's basically why I've done it, because it makes it cheaper and easier. So, but that's a bit long for what I'm doing, so I'm going to use my one. It's exactly the same thing. Okay, it's exactly the same bar. It's actually the same length bar, because this handle, it can go right. It goes right down into here. It drops in, so I'm using this one because it's a little bit shorter, a little bit easier for me to work around here. So, and this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to use a 6mm hollower to completely turn one of those snowmen, and we'll see how we go. But the bevel is the important thing, and I'll talk about that. I'm going to do this, and then I'll talk a little bit about that with the bevel coming in, and we'll do some cuts. So I'll pull you into here. This is probably going to be a bit of a longest 16 minutes already, so most people are going to turn off and get bored, aren't they? So if you do, that's entirely up to you. Right, okay. Put me out on, turn that on. I'm going to just do a quick little clean up inside here. So it's very good, this tool, when you can be on the bevel. There we go, and to come out, I drop, as I always say, I drop the handle down. I don't pull out. And there you get a beautiful clean finish, okay? Beautiful and clean. I'm just going to come here, put the bevel on, bevel's on. If you're going into end grain and you're push cutting, you must really have full bevel control. Okay, that's perfect. Now I'm going to just clean up this front. And again, bevel has to come on, but you can't put the bevel on and cut. See this thing of anchor bevel cut, I don't, you know, well, I'd say that, give me a minute. Right, okay, right, so we've got to come in and start a cut, and then our bevel comes into play, okay? As soon as you make that first cut, that's it, that's the cut, as quick as that little bit. Right, now there's somewhere for the bevel to go. Now I can come across, okay, and I can push across on end grain. There we go, we'll clean that like that. That's it, lovely. That's all I want to do, clean that bit. I haven't got to worry about further out because I'm going to be taking all this away. Okay. Yeah, this anchor bevel cut. Oh my god. You know, it winds me up a bit. I think originally that was someone taking the piss. I really do. I think someone's just taking the piss out of people. And you know, kindergarten stuff, and it talking to people like they were children. Well, you know, if you know your ABC, you can come and turn with me. It's a bit silly because it doesn't work. Anchor, right? Well, you never anchor at all. Anchor means to fix something in a fixed position so it can't move. We can never fix our tool in a position; it has to move. Okay, bevel. Okay, so you put your bevel on, right? Now you have to take the bevel off to make a cut, and then what, you put your bevel back on. And let's see, this is where it doesn't work. It should actually be place. So P, if you want letters, P, place your tool on the tool rest, because that's what it is. It's a tool rest, place the tool. Right, cut. So C, because we've got to make a cut. The second you make a cut, you've got somewhere to put your bevel. So that's bevel. So it should actually be PCB, place, cut, and bevel. Once your bevel's on, you've got control. You've got full control of your tool, but the bevel controls the actual cut. You're just there to maintain that, okay, and steer it. If you don't get that bevel on and you put your bevel on there and then you come off of it to pick up your cut, you are then having to control that cut by how much that can go in, what angle it's going. If you get the bevel on, the bevel controls it, and that's the thing. And every catch you ever get will be because the bevel was not on the wood. The bevel was not controlling. If you hollowing and you go hollowing and you're hollowing and it's all going fine, and then suddenly bang, you get a massive catch, you came off the bevel. That's all it is. You came off the bevel. Knowing why you came off the bevel or where you came off the bevel will help you to stop getting a catch in the future, and then you won't be frightened to make that cut again, because that's the thing, you get these nasty catches and it puts you off and you're reluctant to do it, you hesitate, you grip the tool harder, and that's just going to make everything worse. If you know what you did wrong, it's just a simple go, oh, bugger, and go again. Simple. Right, we've got to do this now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put a centre in, because this will help just to take away any vibration whatsoever. Okay, and it's just touching, so it's not really going to mark it, and this is always going to have a T-light in it, so that's it. Right, so I'm going to start it up. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use a roughing gouge just to take it down. Okay, and again I've come straight in, the cut is there, and now the bevel's on. So it's the cut and the bevel. And then once the bevel's there, it's totally under control. Right, that's coming smooth. Right. There we go. Nice and smooth. Just going to bring this down a little bit here. Saves me a bit of turning. Right, okay. And now I'm going to come in with the 6mm hollow. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to do a little line with the parting tool down there, just so I know where I'm parting off. Okay, right there. Again, with a parting tool, we can do the same. We can roll it, and we can actually come on the bevel, and we can actually make a nice little cut like that to keep everything clean and smooth. Right, let's see what the little 6mm hollower can do. Now, can you see from there? Right, let's. I can't really bring it around that side because that makes it awkward for me. Okay, and let's from the higher the camera up. You know, let's face it, it's all about me anyway. Right, okay, get you there. I think that's going to be a focus. Oops, touch the chuck. Yeah, I think that's focused. Yep, okay. Right, something's rattling. I don't know what. Oh, it was that bit of wood. Right, okay, here we go. Bevel. Bevel, take the bevel off to cut. So if I go on the bevel, I've then got to lift the bevel off to start cutting. Not the way to do it. Cut. Now the bevel's on, okay? So it's a cut, bevel. Right, I think I want to go maybe a little bit bigger with that hat. Right, so cut. So we come in with a cut, and then we get the bevel on. Now the bevel's on. Now the bevel's on. We've got full control. See, all I have to do is keep this down, roll it over, so I can get in there. Right, so got to put a bit more of a. I've got to watch through the thickness I've got inside. I'm okay. I want to just bring it in a little bit more. There we go. Roll it right over, and you can get that little cut in there. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to come in here, do the same thing, find where I'm going to be. And we're going to do all this, like I said, with the 6mm hollower. Now, what I want to do, I've got to come in, I've still got to come in a bit more, I think, down here. See, once you've got your surface, you can always come in, put your bevel on here, and all it is, if your bevel's there, it's a rotate to pick up the cut. Just rotate it, and we pick up the cut. And we get this beautiful clean finish. Right, now I need to put in here, so I've got to get this in line, okay, rotate it and come in. Now again, I have to get that little cut started. So, cut, that's it, that's enough. That tiny little bit is enough for me to get that bevel on, and then it's bevel controlled, and it comes in. There we go. Gives me a nice clean finish. Right, now I'm going to get this side down. Bring this down here. So I'll get to where I want the head to be. Right. Now I've got to come up. Now again, you can't cut uphill, they say. Well, that's a load of rubbish. You can. What you have to do is when you come in, you actually have to come up. And you'll see, we get this. You can see we've got these shavings, okay? And that will give us a nice smooth cut up there. But what we're getting at the moment is a little bit of bevel there. You can see that line. That's a bevel rub. Right, now I've got to come round here to get on here. Little cut, that gives me somewhere. No, hang on, that's it there. That's got to give me somewhere for the bevel to go. There it is, there. Very awkward here because I've not got the room. Right, there we go. Just straighten that up. Like so. Nice smooth on there. Just roll it. But that gave me that straight edge in. Now I've got to try and get rid of that bevel mark. There, it's gone. See, this cutter that's supposed to be so aggressive can actually do some really nice work. Right, now we're going to come in here and we're going to do our little, you know, I like to do my little bead for the collar, and then we're going to bring this in. And we come in, we close it right off, and then we roll it over and we come in, and there we go, we've got beautiful smooth bead. Okay, and now we're going to just, again I am cutting uphill at the moment, but we're okay. Bevel's in contact. Okay, there's my bevel. Okay, and there's the cutting. Right. I like that little foot at the bottom of this, so I've got to come in. Can't go right the way down. Again, see how it's come in here, it's a cut first. There it is, there. A cut, and that gives me the bevel. And then it's controlled. I'm just going to come over that, so that's nice there. Right, that's it. And now I've got to come in here. All bevel controlled. Right, I want nice crisp. That's going to be, now see again, this is where it helps if you turn left hand, because for where I am, I've got a wall right here, and I like my lathe where it is. So for me, I get to here and I can't come round anymore. I can't use the chisel round that way, so I have to go over to my left hand. Close it right over, and then we come in here, cut, there's the cut, bevel, oh hang on I missed it, there's the cut, there's the bevel, there we go down. See now, you get that little catch, but I know exactly what, I missed it, I missed that bit on the bevel. I didn't get the bevel on. There we go. Right. I think we're okay there. I'm going to just come up and bring a cut up around here. See, the bevel maintains that. I won't go no deeper, I won't go no shallower unless I sort of bring it off, but I'm just backing off now because I'm in there where I want to be, and that is it. Right, I think a little bit It's got slightly spotted cheeks there, which I quite like actually. Remember, if you're going to cut up, drop the handle, bring the cutter round. There we go, let's have a look. See what sort of finish we got off of that aggressive little 6mm cutter. Look at that. Even on our bead. Perfect, look. Beautiful. Okay. Slight bevel mark there. That's because obviously you've got a bit of a bar there. You can't really, the 6mm cutter, you can't have the cutter extending the bar. You just haven't got enough room for it. But a simple come in, just I can see it now, so I'll clean that up. Stroke it in, look at that. So I mean, this cutter, it can be so delicate and do such fantastic work, it really can. Right, there we go. I'm still thinking I might just take another little bit on that. No, I won't actually, because that's the right size for that. So there we go. Right, I'm going to do a little bit of sanding. I'm going to take this away, I don't need this no more. Now, actually, if you're worried about like any marks in there, I'm not really, because it's going to have, like I say, it's going to have a candle in there. So, but all I have to do is come in, one quick little pass there. That's it, done. So now I'll do a tiny bit of sanding. I'm not putting a finish on this because Lisa's painting it, and the paint she's using, the acrylic paints, they don't go too well if I put the shellac on or finish on. So I'm not actually putting any finish on. I tell you, this ain't going to take a lot of sanding. I mean, you see guys, I've turned these now. I've done them with the 9mm round, the box follower. Absolutely fantastic chisel. If you ever want to own a carbide and you might just want one, get that box follower. I'll tell you, it's absolutely fantastic chisel. It really is. Right. Feels nice. Right, come around here. A little bit on the body. Yeah, quite nice. And what I'm going to do, very quickly, just to take out any rotational sanding mark, I'm just going to use this my little palm sander here, which I'm so glad I made up. So nice and easy to hold, this little palm sander, and I'm just going to use that to take out any rotational sanding marks. Right, there we go, that's it. That all feels very nice to me. It feels very nice indeed. So now I'm just going to part that off. Right, okay. And again, this is a place where guys, you really need to learn. You really need to learn how to part with your left hand, because doing this sort of thing, you know, and let me bring that camera out a bit. Sorry, it's just, I know people always say about danger and doing dangerous things. Okay, now for me, I find one of the most dangerous things I see people do is when they do this, because you know, you've got a chuck spin in there and you're over here and you're trying to do this. It's not a safe way to turn. It's really not safe. Learn to do it with your left hand. Come in. Okay, we come in here. Nice and steady. Follow it down. Follow it down. Get ready for it. There it is. Done. Okay. I'm not leaning over the lathe. That's Simple as that. There's nothing more dangerous as far as I'm concerned. Okay. That's my thing. People say it's dangerous to move your tool. Sorry, wrong chuck key. People say it's dangerous to move your tool rest and things like that. Well, I don't think there's anything more dangerous than stretching over your lathe like that. Right. Fortunately, yes, these do still take my sanding arbors. These chucks also hold them. Little nip. That's all it takes. And I can still sand. I like these because they fit perfect. I'll just give it a little wiggle on that. And this, for doing this on the bottoms, depends what ones I'm doing, obviously. There, that gives it nice and clean, that. This is why I like, there, that's all nice and clean. This is why I like these sanding, oh, keep getting the wrong chuck key. Oh, it's terrible, isn't it? Right, why I like these sanding ones, because these are the ones I get from Timu. You can get loads of, they're on eBay and places like that. I got them from Timu, they're so bloody cheap. So you get your nice soft pad like that, but when you peel that off, you've got that nice hard pad. So when you're doing things like that on that bottom, you're not going to get out, which that's always going to put a slight curve to your piece, you know. You don't always want it to go profile. So that's why I like those. But there we go, guys. That's another little one that's going to go for Lisa to paint up. Okay. And that's been done with a little 6mm follower. And there you go. But yeah, like I said, with using the hollower, let me see where the camera is. Let me see where you are. Let me see where you are. Got all dust over it. Right, okay. Let me bring you out here. And put you back like that. Yeah, so there we go, guys. Look, another one like that. So now I've got that one I've done, and seeing as I didn't have it actually next to it, I don't think that's too bad. They seem to be quite matched up there. Not too bad at all. So she's got to have a lot of painting to. I've got loads of these to do. I've got a pile of wood there all ready for them to be done. So there we go. Yes, bevel control. Yeah, that's everything is the bevel, guys. It really is everything. Everything with wood turning is to do with the bevel. Okay, I do like these. I quite like these jaws, and they take my look at that. They take my centre. That's fantastic, isn't it? Hey, makes life so much easier. Especially if you want to do stuff between centres, which I am a great fan of turning between centres. I love spindle work. Bowls, oh, I hate turning bowls. I like turning the outside of bowls, but I don't like hollowing bowls. It's not I don't like them, I find it so boring. I really do find hollowing bowls boring. I just with shaping bowls, you come round nice rough square bit or out of shape bit, come round, get the cuts, get a shape to it, put a bead on it, or do the 10 and come round. Hollowing, it's just like, I just find no appeal to me. It doesn't appeal to me, it really doesn't. Right, anyway, what am I doing now? I'm going to talk a little bit on the bevel, and right, because all these people getting these catches and things like that, and you really don't need to be getting catches, guys. I've got to just adjust this down a little bit. Sorry, it's all right. Just give me a second. I know what I'm doing. I'm in control. There we go. Right. Okay. So now I'm going to bring you around here, aren't I? Because you're going to want to see what I'm doing. Right, okay. There you go, should be alright there. Right, yes, so bevels. Now the thing is, see, when you're coming in and you're going to do this, like I said, to me it's taking the piss out of you guys, it really is. Anchor bevel, I mean, come on, ABC, stand, how to stand, you know, if you move to the left, transfer your weight to your left. Well, try to transferring your weight to the right and moving to the left. It'd be a bit stupid, wouldn't it? We all know how to stand up. Holding your tools, it doesn't really come down to a matter how you hold it. You've got to hold your tools how you feel comfortable. The only thing I would say is do not wedge your tool against your body and use your body to turn. Okay, you don't turn with your body, you turn with your hands. And if you're disabled, if you're in a wheelchair, or if you might have problem with your hips, you might not be able to move like that. So, you know, but God gave us these arms and they do wonderful things. Now, if you try and come on here and rub a bevel on here, you can't, because it's just not there, is it? You're going to end up having troubles. And then when you come on and you're supposedly rubbing a bevel, then lift your handle, then you're taking the bevel off, then you're just on a unsupported cut, and that's when you're going to have troubles. So, easiest way. It's hard when you've got something square, because obviously you've got to get it round first. Okay, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start that up, and to get it round, I've always said, come in. Now you can see what angle you've got on your tool, so you just want to hold it, just get used to it. It's something you've got to learn. Okay, you've got to look. Now my thing is always to come backwards. Now if you don't get the angle right and I come back there, look, it didn't cut, it didn't do anything, but it can't cause any problems because I'm going backwards. Okay, now you can see a little bit there, so right, just bring it down a little bit more, and now it's cut. Right, okay, so I've got this cutting. Right, now it's cutting, I'm okay. Now as soon as I've got all those corners off like that, as quick as that, okay, I've now got somewhere for my bevel to go, because I've cut and then bevel, not bevel then cut. So if I come in here and I put my bevel on, then I raise my handle and I do this, right? I've shown it before. What you get is I get dust and I get chips, small chips. When I put my bevel on, and I now, because I've already made it round, I put my bevel on, rotate it, and there's the cut. And now what I get is I get shavings. Camera's in my way a little bit. You see? I start to get shavings. This is very dry wood, but it's shavings that come off. So there we go. So that would be, if I was coming on now for the first time, exactly that, right? Cut, bevel, cut it, now the bevel's on. Now it's a bevel controlled cut. There you go, and that will give you a nice clean finish and gives you full control. Now if you're going to come in, let's say we're going to do this with, what we're going to use, a spindle gouge. Okay, so we're going to come in with a spindle gouge, okay? Right. Now, if we come in here and we put the bevel on, yeah? How am I going to start a cut? I've got to take the bevel off to start the cut. So I'm unsupported, okay? Which is where a lot of people come unstuck, because you'll get your little catches. All you've got to do is start with a cut. If you're going to come on the end, that's it. That's all it takes. That is a ledge for my bevel. Now it's a bevel supported cut. Now I can take my hand away and it will cut. Went over that, so let me just come in. Right, there we go. Right, it's a bevel supported cut. Okay, it doesn't need me, it controls itself. All I do, as long as I keep that bevel there in contact, nothing will go wrong. I can go along and it will maintain that depth of cut all the way along. There we go. We maintain that depth of cut. If I'm going to start a cut here, okay, again, I don't want to come on with the bevel and do it. What I want to do is slice. Right, that's it. That is enough. As soon as I go like that, now my bevel's got a place. Now I can rotate and I can do whatever I want to do. As long as this bevel stays in contact, nothing can go wrong. Okay, again there. All I've got to do is come in with the cutting edge. As soon as I've got that started, my bevel is on. Now I can do whatever I want. Okay, and we get a beautiful clean finish. Now again with bevels, Now when you're coming around a curve like this, let me I've got to try and find where I can bring you now. I'm going to go overhead, okay, and hopefully when we get you here you should see this. Let's hopefully that comes into focus. Yep, that's in focus. Right, okay, I think I'll know when I upload the video. Right, now then, if we're going to do coves like this, if we come in, now did you see, now this is what happens if you try to come in, like if you were to put that there and you come that way, when you try and come in here, look, see how it wants to skip? So if you try coming in here, it wants to skip. Right, that will cause you, and you'll hear everyone say about put your thumb behind it, okay, or brace it so it can't pull back. Well, that's, just take that off, get rid of it. Right, I'm going to get rid of that. Right, well, you don't want to be doing that, do you, bracing? All you've got to do, you don't come in like this and push in. All we do is we slice. That's it. As soon as I make that slice, that's for my bevel. Now the cut can't go anywhere, right? If you're going to do a cove, don't come round like this, because what you'll get is you'll get marks on here, right? And you can see there's bevel marks. What that is, if I put that there and I push it, okay, see what happens? I get two lines, because I get tip and I get heel. If I have my flute that way and I push it, I only get the one line, okay, the one where the bevel's gone in. So when I make my cut, I come in, I'm doing a cove. Open your flute, but keep your bevel in contact, and then close your flute a bit. And when you do that, you'll get a perfect curve, okay? So we cut in, we come down, we open the flute up, and we come around. That way this bevel here is sitting in there, okay? So we've got our nice bevel control, and we just come along, and then we can blend the two nicely together, and we don't get any bevel marks on here, because when you get that, yes, there's sand, but when you sand them out, when you put a finish on, it always shows up. You always get that little line where that bit of bevel mark was, okay? As I said, when you come in, it is always a cut first, okay? Cut, bevel. Now I can do whatever I want, okay? I can come out, I can go in, I can come out, I can go in again, I can come out and go in, and I can go straight along, as long as my bevel stays in contact. If I come in and I come out and I come around here and I come around here like this and I take my bevel off, that's when I'm going to get skips, okay? When I come round, if I take my bevel off, I get a skip, and we don't want skips, okay? We always want to just start the cut. As soon as you start the cut, that bevel's got a place to go, okay? There we go, we're not making anything. Right, it's the same if you go on to using the skew chisel, okay, exactly the same. You'll hear people say, if you're going to do, let me just get this straight. Right, if you're going to do a cut, you can't come on an end because you've got nowhere for the bevel to go. So you'll start in the middle, you'll put the bevel on, you'll raise the handle, you'll go that way, you'll come this way, you'll put the bevel on, you'll raise the handle, you'll go that way. The trouble is you'll forever be trying to match up that middle bit, okay, until you get really good and be able to do it. When all you actually have to do is cut. That is it. That is enough. Now my bevel's on. I've got full bevel contact, okay, my bevel's on, full bevel control, and all I have to do is come along. Maintain that bevel. As long as that bevel's there, cut, that's the shelf for the bevel, okay? Then we can come along, and that's all it is. If you want to come down, you want to do a little slope, cut, bevels on. Okay, the bevel's on, now we can come down. As soon as you do that little cut, that bevel's got a place to go, and we can come around. And it's the same this way. As soon as we cut, we can get the bevel on, and we can come around. For doing the cove like this, I wouldn't normally use as long a grind as that. The shorter grind will get you around the cove a lot better. Okay, and it's the same if you're going to come in here and you want to just start the cut. That's it, that's all it is, that tiny little bit. There it is. Now the bevel's got a place to go. Okay, and all you've got to do is follow that round and keep that bevel in contact all the time. As long as that bevel stays in contact, nothing will happen. If you come around here and you come off of it, there you go, immediately. It will happen every single time. There, as soon as that comes off, it skips back. Okay, get on there, maintain the bevel, roll the tool round, and there you go, no skipping back. Okay, cut and in like that. So you want to come on the end, cut, that's enough, that's a shelf. Look, my bevel's on there now. Now I've got control. Now I can come along. Just that tiny little cut, that's all it takes. It's that much. You don't need a lot, and don't death grip your tools. Okay, tools nice and light, that's all it is. As soon as you've got that little bit of bevel control, everything is in control. Look, I can come along, can bring it round. As long as that bevel stays on that wood, that tip will keep cutting. If I take that bevel off, that tool will straight away skip back. Okay, that's playing with the skew. Now again, I've shown it, and I've shown it with the carbide. It's exactly the same with the carbide. We cut, that's it, that's all it takes. As soon as that cut's there, we've got bevel control, and we can come round. Okay, cut, we must cut. Right, what we don't want to do is we don't want to put our bevel on and then come off of it, because then we're going to get that, see, straight away. As soon as you put the bevel on and come, because you can't, if the bevel's on, look, I can't cut, okay, because I've got no depth to go to. You must have a depth, so what you do is you come off the bevel, and there you go, skips. Let's clean that off. So what you've got to do is cut. That's it, there's a cut. Cut, now I'm on, now I rotate, bevel's in control, and I just follow along. And that is how you get the perfect cut. Okay, we cut in, we rotate, and we come along. And we do it all in one little movement. Like so. And a lot of the time it's easier with carbides. Okay, same here, we've got the parting tool, the detail chisel, and it's the same thing. Okay, we make a cut, that's it, that's all that tool needs. We rotate it, we keep that bevel on the wood, and we just follow, and it will just take us round. If we come round too far, we come out like that. If we go in further, we will go deeper. But we must maintain the bevel. And the bevel will stop you getting any sort of catches. Same here, all we do is we cut in, our bevel's on, we come round, we rotate, we pick it up. The only problem I'm having here is, look, I'm this far above centre because this is too high for carbide. It should be a bit lower, but I'm being lazy, I'm not lowering it. Right, we've managed. Cut. That is it. Now my bevel's on. I can just leave the tool there. It won't go nowhere, it won't do anything.
and then I can just move it forward, follow that with the bevel. The cutting edge will do the work, it will take it off, then I can just come in here and blend it in, tiny little bit more, and there you go. Okay, we can just blend it, you can play about with it as much as you like until you get it how you want it. There you go, and we just blend it. So it's always the bevel controls your cut. Okay, it's nothing, it doesn't matter how you hold the chisel. If you want to hold it on your body, then you're always going to get tool marks. The most important things you must have, tool must have freedom of movement. You must be able to turn it this way, that way. You must be able to move it around. Okay, the second important thing, you can put your hand by the tool rest, but don't hook your finger around, don't grip it, don't hold the tool like this and push your hand on here for steady. You will just ruin all your cuts. Okay, when you're making your final finish cut, so if this is going to be a final finish cut, there, drop your hand back away from the tool rest. Tool rest is a little bit high, but drop your hand back, it will give you a better cut. Okay, easier to demonstrate if I use a spindle gouge. There we go, drop it back, there we go. You just drop down that little hill, roll a couple of beads and come out again. You're coming out and going uphill, drop the handle right down and we slice our way out. We come out with a slice. Okay, but for the whole entire cut to come down and roll beads and come up, bevel stays in contact all the time. All the time that bevel is on that wood like that, you can't get a catch, you won't get torn grain, you can't get anything nasty happen. The minute you come off of it, well then, there you go, you're in the hands of the gods, I'm afraid. Coming in here, this is a time when a lot of people get a skip. So if you just cut, you've then got a place for that bevel to go. Then you can open it and you can come in and close it, open it, roll it round, do anything you want with it. You can close it, open it right up. You can even turn it round and go back the other way, and go back and go that way, and you can go back and you can go that way, and we can come in and come along here, and we can come in here and we can come along. Okay, we can play all things and do all things wonderful as long as we keep that bevel. That part of that chisel must stay in contact at all times. And you should get that finish as well. Okay? So, I hope that's explained a bit. Of bloody hell, rabbit on French. How long has this video been? 3 hours and 50 minutes? No, nearly an hour. Right, okay guys, I'm going to have to call it that because no one's going to want to watch it all. You're all going to be bored pissless and by 5 minutes in, and that'd be it. So yes, there you go. I went for SK114 chucks. Actually, they are a lovely chuck. They really are. Very, very expensive. They're overpriced as well. I think all wood-turning stuff's overpriced, to be honest. And what does me, if that, I mean, this SK114, they've actually dropped £80 off of it. £80. You're not talking, we've just done like a little 10% thing. £80 they've knocked off. So I mean, really, you're not selling it at a loss, surely. You must still be making a profit. So if you're selling it for a profit still, why are you charging that £80 in the first, that extra £80 in the first place? And it shows you because they've actually sold out of a lot of them. They're on back order now. The SK100 I bought, £96. How could I not buy one?
they've dropped £96 off the price. So I had to buy one. So I bought it. It's on back order. It'll be within the next 3 weeks. So within 3 weeks, it says it's on back order. So I bet if you can do it, why don't you sell them at those prices all the time? And you'll sell loads of them, wouldn't you? Everyone would buy them. People would buy them. But there you go. I don't know. Not for me to sort out. And I made my own little thing here. If you can see, I think you're in camera. I made my own little one. I was not going to pay. What is it? 20 quid for the one they do. I just made one here. Look. The runners are the carriers on them. They slot in like so. Oh, there you go. They slot in and they lock down, and that's it. They can't come off. All solid, lovely. Couple of bits of scrap wood. There you go. Right, okay, guys. Toodle pip, and I will see you on the next one. I'm going to come around here. I'm going to turn the camera off. Hope that helps some people. See you later, guys.